do I feel that Tyson Fury will go into the ring and fight the Klitschko's and win? And do you know what? Yeah, I do. I do.
Not at the minute. The fights I've seen, I think he gets tired a bit too quick. I think maybe a bit too cocky at times. Lets his gloves down at times. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the Klitschko's, but their main feature is most of the people they fight are smaller than them, so they can just use their height and reach
to
hold them off. With Fury, they won't be able to do that. I'm guessing he's about as tall as them, if not taller.
I think he's taller than one of them and just like an inch smaller than one of them. There's not much difference.
So they would have basically no advantage in that department, and he'd be quicker, and hopefully his stamina would improve by then. And
that's the only
with a bit
thing.
more experience, I think he could beat them.
That's the only thing that I have against him is his stamina. I think he goes into fights, he seems, in my opinion, to get maybe a bit excited. He goes in early, he finishes off too quickly, and he leaves the fans disappointed at times, I believe, because I feel his last fight, he gave one, he was knocked down, and I thought that was the fight where it proved him, as a fighter with a lot of potential. He got back up and he won. Now, I know a lot of fighters, a lot of the Johnny Nobodies, who think they're great. They got knocked down once, they don't get up again, or they get up and then they're beaten. He got up after taking one hell of a right hook, and he got up, and what a great, fantastic fighter.
Shows with fighting heart, doesn't it?
Fighting heart, yeah. Of course, he's from the gypsy community, and he's got that fighting spirit, that fighting instinct. And Jack Elliott.
Political-based story here. Moving on. News of the week. 4 former employees at a welfare to work company, A4E, who is chaired by Emma Harrison, who was appointed as Family Saba Prime Minister in 2010. 4 employees have been arrested after irregularities were found.
Right, so the family hired by David Cameron. What are your thoughts, Dale?
Well, I'm speechless because we've gone kind of totally off topic, and I don't really know what to say to that.
I've just found this.
Unbelievable.
I've just found this article here, and I've got a perler of a story here, it's just. I don't know too much about boxing. I do know my politics, man.
Would you call it a top-notch story? Because my story's top-notch.
I don't know if I'd go that far. It's definitely a perler, but I don't know if it's top-notch. But, I mean, if this is true, criminal investigations, the company has been investigated 9 times by the Department of Work and Pensions in the last 7 years.
Well,
so you just think, if this has been investigated since 2005, what on earth was David Cameron doing, hiring...
Well, what was he doing
hiring Emma Harrison, who'd...
Yeah, when he hired that Andy Coulson.
Andy Coulson, exactly.
Why
it just puts him once again under negative spotlight of people who he's hired.
I don't think Cameron should hire people for jobs. It just seems to be terrible.
I know, he's awful. First there's his own private photographer, paid out of yours and my money.
At the same time as you were saying, we're all in it together.
Yeah, that was...
We're all in it together, except I won't be in it, really. I'll just be watching.
Yeah, cheers for that, Dave.
But let me just say this then, Dale. You're are you against the coalition?
Am I against... The trouble is, because I'm not a big Conservative fan, I used to quite like Lib Dems, but not after, lies they've done. And Labour meant to be for the working class, but I don't see Ed Miliband as a proper leader. So I bet there's plenty of people like me thinking, who do we want? There's no one out there that stands out that you want in power.
I feel exactly the same. I think politics in this country has become far too centralised. I think it's far too focused on the chattering classes, the middle classes, and I think there needs to be more variety with it. There needs to be more difference between, for example, Labour and Conservative. And I think as well for the Labour Party to go anywhere, I think they do need a stronger leader than Ed Miliband.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
Well, yeah, I agree. But I think that David Miliband, at the end of the day, if he'd have taken over, I honestly think Labour would be in pole position. I think Ed Miliband just lacks a certain bit of authority. I think a lot. His PMQ debates are weak. I think he's had quite a few open goals and missed. Maybe a bit like Andy Carroll, but
Whoa. Andy Carroll, who scored against Brighton in the week.
Yeah.
I think you could have easily made. You missed a Tony Blair reference there.
You did.
Or a Fernando Torres. I'm trying to make it football related, but
No, it should have been politics. Because if anyone ever
true.
saw that video a few years ago, I think 2005, with Tony Blair when he was abroad and played a bit of football, and he's reminiscent. Who was the singer in that American when the US hosted the World Cup?
Diana Ross.
Yeah, I mean
Diana, that was an awful penalty kick. Oh dear.
She could have easily fit into the England
she
team.
could have. Oh, absolutely.
Well, actually, she couldn't, because I just remembered they weren't in the World Cup that year.
no, they
That's
weren't.
true.
I was going to say that.
No.
But any other
Other year.
Alright, Tom, have you got a top-notch story?
Well, I think my story is a top and a notch. I think that's my catchphrase, Tom Feeney, top notch. And my story this week is about wrestling. I am a wrestling journalist. I write about wrestling a lot. Why are you looking at me like that, Dale?
Oh, why not looking at the table?
I thought you were putting your head in your hands. I was like, for goodness sake. And
It's a long day.
My point is this week is about Twitter and wrestling and the reliance the WWE and TNA seem to have about wrestling. You type TNA, I will right now, TNA into Twitter, and you go for tweets, and it doesn't load, and then it does, and it's loading.
Oh, she's got all tips up, hasn't it?
It'll be alright. Well,
Tips even.
tips.
I said tips.
Tips.
So,
He said
Tips
tips.
up.
Tips up.
Jack Savers.
Tips up. Like at a restaurant where you give the tips away. Because of course you used to be a waiter, didn't you, Dale?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
briefly.
dropped glasses. He dropped glasses.
Oh,
at
we've
plates.
all
He
dropped
smashed
them.
plates. He dropped glasses, and he's taken this.
Wait a minute. I smashed one little plate once, and that was going back.
Yeah.
And I think I smashed maybe 2 glasses. Oh, in a 6-month period, that was
That's
not bad.
that's not too bad. Did you have to pay for your own glasses when you smashed them?
No.
There's a lot of restaurants
No,
out. You're lucky.
I wasn't the only one that smashed
Yeah.
glasses. We've gone well off topic here.
Yeah.
For the love of God, get back on topic.
Is this
Talking.
loaded?
Well, yeah, it had.
Oh, right. Well, I was just filling in.
Well, it had loaded when you talked about restaurants. I don't know what you're on about. Anyway, so you type TNA, you type WWE into Twitter, and there's a real reliance on the screen. About when they're on a show about Twitter and about how great TNA and Twitter is and how WWE Twitter is. Zack Ryder, really brought it up with Twitter. He used his Twitter account to more or less get a push. And, but then you look at Twitter and you look at the ongoing feud now between CM Punk and Chris Brown. And, well, CM Punk, the WWE champion, who's going to be fighting at WrestleMania against Chris Jericho. Dale, what are your thoughts on that, just while this loads?
On which part? On
Chris
that
Jericho.
actual... Oh, goodness say. Well, it should be quite good, shouldn't it? They're both actually interesting to watch. You get those that just aren't. I'm not going to mention any names on Cena, but there are other ones that
Can I just say something?
They're both technically good, and they're both good to listen to.
Okay. I've got to just say though, you're going to talk about John Cena. John Cena is a fantastic wrestler.
Couldn't
Right,
say
I'll-
it without laughing. You couldn't say it
Stop
without
that! I can't even say that with a straight face. He's a good. No, look. At the end of the day, he's been poorly booked. He hasn't been trained properly, in my opinion. Because there's a video of him wrestling when he was training in WWE, and he's awful. And he seemed to get pushed up then very quickly. So I don't know why Dale's laughing again. Dale, what are your thoughts though on the big news of the week? The massive news that
We're gonna
Sheamus will be fighting Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship title.
Well, I don't know why he's kicked me